On June 6, 2021, Trooper Miller spotted a white Dodge Charger packed with cocky wannabe gangsters hanging out the windows on Interstate 75. Two guys were literally halfway out of the car, phones up, recording their own street racing crew like it was a music video. The second Miller hit his lights, the Charger's driver punched it, and the group decided to make this mess go live. Charger blue lights almost hit cars and blacked out on Interstate 75 while the passengers kept recording. Their own Instagram video later showed the speedometer hitting 146 miles per hour. Miller struggled to close the gap at first, but he kept pushing until the Charger finally stopped pulling away.
75 north, 35,
Come on, man. Come on. Pass Barrett.
Still on 75 northbound, past Barrett, Marquardt. Approaching Chastain.
Pit. Pit.
Trooper Miller hit perfect pit at around 130 miles per hour, sending it into the trees and ending the circus. Moments earlier, they were flexing for the camera. Now two were injured, and the driver ran off in blue Crocs. That same Instagram video gave GSP everything they needed to identify everyone involved. On September 1st, 2024, a street takeover organized all over social media packed a Tampa intersection. Crowds everywhere, cars drifting, smoke in the air. But the moment FHP lit up their sirens, cars scrambled and one Dodge Challenger tried slipping out of the mess. Drivers ran like cockroaches, and just like that, the chase was on.
I got a red gas tank, wide body. Romeo Hotel, South Project for I'm currently heading eastbound. Romeo Hotel, South Project,
Once the Challenger hit a clear stretch, troopers moved in, boxed it tight, and when the driver tried one last desperate burst, an FHP unit swung in and pit maneuvered the Challenger, shutting it down instantly. 10 people were arrested, guns seized, cars impounded, and that social media stunt turned into real charges: fleeing, racing, reckless driving, and more. Just after midnight, a black Scat Pack Charger came flying down Peachtree Road at 68 miles per hour in a 35 zone. Troopers flipped around, lights on, ready to pull it over, but the second they got behind it, the driver mashed the gas. The Charger ripped through red lights, cut into oncoming lanes, and was easily pushing triple digits. Traffic didn't matter. At one point, he sideswiped a black Suburban and just kept going. More troopers jumped in, boxing him closer every second as he tried to outrun 3 GSP units. The driver jumped out and ran, but he didn't make it far. Troopers cornered him and took him down.
I'm gonna whip your fucking ass! Get on the fucking ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Inside the Charger, they found a 10 to 15 cal rifle with a 100-round drum. The driver, 25-year-old Caleb McNeil, was already out on bond with multiple open cases. Now he's facing DUI, fleeing, and a pile of felonies that could keep him locked up for years. On March 29, 2025, Officer Irvin with the Fairburn Police Department clocked a Dodge Challenger ripping down I-85 at 101 miles per hour. When the blue lights came on, the driver floored it, turning the highway into his playground.
Radio clear for you, like all units to 16, Sector Forever 81, all units 16, Sector Forever 81. Definitely, we got close shallow, we're still going. 40, are you still in it, Paul, or are you going?
Go ahead and go, and I'm a couple units behind you, go in front of me.
Alright, that's all. Avenue 49 southbound. Still like driving lane 4. Lead 120. Yeah, fire 120. We're coming up on the 48 mile marker. Coming up on Victor 48, you said? Coming up on the 47. 36. exit 47. Alright, we are coming up on 47. 5 traffic. 1. 125 light traffic coming up on 47.
41, 41.
41 received, 41 midnight 30 received. Location.
Irvin executed a precision pit that sent the Dodge spinning like a pinball across the highway. The driver bailed from the wrecked Challenger and tried running on foot, but officers quickly found him near the trees and put him in cuffs. The wild ride ended in the dirt with nowhere left to run. On March 18, 2024, Trooper Thorson clocked a white Dodge Challenger ripping down Highway 441 at 96 in a 65. Behind the wheel was 20-year-old Kamari Stokes, and the moment the trooper flipped on his lights and Challenger's engine roared to life and Kamari punched it west toward Highway 326.
We're in the middle lane right now.
Kamari squeezed every bit of that 400 horsepower, shooting toward Interstate 75 like he was late for the finish line. Once he hit the interstate, the Challenger blasted past 130 miles per hour. Meanwhile, his passenger stuck both hands out the window, clearly not wanting to die that night, but Kamari Stokes had other plans.
All right, we do have a hit on the stop sticks. All right, we're still going a little too fast to pit. Rear driver's side's going out.
Tampa rear driver's side going out.
Report 9 points.
Zero 4190, do you want subject to continue or be to the?
I'm right here with your dog.
10-4, if I can get a chance to pit, I'm going to pit him.
I'm right here with your good. Come on. Signal 4, signal 4.
Stand by. Signal 4, signal 4.
At the County Road 484 exit, Lieutenant Thorson laid down stop sticks and shredded the rear tire, sending the Challenger through a fence and into a field. That's where K-9 Deputy Donley finished the job with a clean pit, absolutely destroying the Dodge. Deputies found marijuana inside, and Kamari was arrested for fleeing, reckless driving, and no valid license, charges that could land him up to 5 years in jail. On September 20th, 2023, Trooper Lucas was driving on Interstate 440 when two cars blew past him at around 150 miles per hour. The lead car exited, but the white Dodge Challenger kept pushing on westbound. Lucas flipped on his lights and chase was on. The Challenger was pulling away hard, and Lucas was struggling to catch the beast. For a moment, it looked hopeless, but his ego wasn't having it. He pushed his cruiser past 150 miles per hour, trying to reel in a driver weaving through traffic, using the shoulder and nearly losing control before shooting onto Interstate 430 North. With traffic clear, Lucas moved in and hit the Challenger's rear corner, spinning it into the cable barrier. The driver, Dimitri Barton, jumped out and laid on the road, done running. His passenger said she begged him to stop. Barton was cuffed, cleared at the hospital, and booked on felony fleeing, reckless driving, and more, charges that could put him away for years. Trooper Dylan Evans clocked an orange and black Dodge Charger at 83 miles per hour on Interstate 40. He flipped on his lights and the car pulled onto the shoulder looking like a routine stop. Evans smelled raw marijuana and asked driver Brandon Williams to turn off the engine and step out. Williams turned the key, hit the gas, and shot back onto the highway. With Williams weaving through lanes and shoulder at more than 140 miles per hour, Trooper C. Wright joined the chase, the two cruisers racing to keep up while traffic scattered. Around 130 miles per hour, Trooper Wright tapped the Charger's rear, sending it spinning into the concrete barrier. Metal shrieked, sparks sprayed everywhere, and the car slammed to a stop. A PIT at that speed could have ended far worse. Williams hurled a Ziploc bag, about 90 grams of marijuana, over the wall. Troopers found a digital scale in the car and another small bag on him. He left with a cut above his eye and a long list of charges for fleeing and drug possession. On June 3, 2023, a trooper running speed detection on GA 204 clocked a gray Dodge Challenger at 103 miles per hour. He hit his lights, and the driver instantly took off. The chase was on. The driver really thought he could outrun Georgia State Patrol in his Challenger RT, but oh boy, he was so wrong.
Back westbound, eastbound, they're clear, it's all clear. Eastbound on residents. Try to do this. We're passing through, still going eastbound. Looks like they're towards expressway. Don't do it, don't fucking do it. Damn.
The Challenger went full desperation mode, pushed 138 miles per hour, lights off, weaving through cars, blowing red lights, and even jumping into the wrong lane to get around traffic. He wasn't in control anymore. He was just hanging on and hoping the trooper would back off. The trooper lined it up and sent the Challenger into a full spin with a clean pit, slamming it into the concrete median. The driver came out smelling like straight weed, admitted he ran because he didn't want another ticket, refused the blood test, and ended up booked for DUI, felony fleeing, reckless driving, and more. Charges easily worth 8+ years if the judge stacks them. On July 8, 2023, Cabot PD called out a stolen white Dodge Challenger, and the suspect, Marquette Muhammad, was already running. When an Arkansas state trooper jumped into the chase on Interstate 30, you already knew how this story was going to end. ASP chases usually turn into pit highlights real quick.
10-4.
From the longer secondary.
The Challenger pushed around 140 miles per hour, squeezing between cars, jumping onto the shoulder, and driving like someone with nothing to lose. It was reckless from start to finish. And even at that speed, the trooper's bumper was creeping closer every second.
"11, 18, and 16, y'all end it when you can." 10-4. Just past the 137 westbound, number 2 lanes, needs 135.
Coming through the south interchange, the trooper lined it up and drilled the Challenger with a 114-mile-per-hour pit, sending it spinning straight into the concrete barrier. Muhammad took off into the woods but was caught fast. He was charged with felony fleeing, theft over $25,000, aggravated assault, reckless driving, and more, easily 15 years in prison. On September 12, 2023, a Douglas County deputy spotted a blue Dodge Challenger with dark tint cruising down Interstate 20. The driver initially pulled over like he was going to comply, but the moment the trooper stepped out, that V8 roared to life. The driver slammed the gas and the high-speed chase was on through Georgia. Even though the Challenger had a huge head start and plenty of horsepower, the trooper didn't back down. He stayed locked in, closing the distance fast. A Georgia trooper executed a flawless pit maneuver, pure GSP precision, sending the Challenger spinning into the cable barrier, but the driver still wasn't done.
Hands up! 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 Get on the ground! Get on the ground! On the ground! On the ground! On the ground!
The driver, 42-year-old Jeffrey Oliver Williams of Mississippi, jumped out and ran into the woods but didn't make it far. Once caught, troopers found 25,000 ecstasy pills containing meth, worth over $400,000. Williams was charged with felony fleeing, drug trafficking, obstruction, and more. That excuse, "the car isn't mine," didn't save him. He got 10 years in state prison and 20 years of probation to think about that small crime that turned into a very big one. Late at night in Little Rock, Arkansas, Trooper Duncan spotted a Dodge Challenger and ran the plate. Turns out the driver had plenty of warrants. When Duncan tried to pull him over, the Challenger, loaded with fake confidence and 450 horsepower, decided to stomp the gas and run. No, this wasn't Dominic Toretto pulling movie stunts. It was just a drug dealer from Little Rock with a criminal past.
You're at 31st and what?
Testing a Challenger on busted Arkansas roads is never a good idea. The horsepower became useless, and that's when Trooper Duncan moved in, landed the pit, and spun the Dodge out. The driver's wild ride ended in cuffs, and his next stop was jail.